Recorded books in RB Digital present The Perfect Present by Rochelle, Alers, Cheris Hodges, and Pamela Yaye. Narrated by Lynnette R. Freeman. This program includes A Christmas Layover by Rochelle Alers, The Christmas Lesson by Cheris Hodges, and Christmas with You by Pamela Yaye. And now, A Christmas Layover. Chapter 1. Waiting in the aisle for several passengers to store their bags in the overhead bins, Sierra Nelson shifted her carry-on in an attempt to not bump those already seated in the aircraft. It was days before Christmas, and when she arrived at the airport, she was slightly taken aback at the throngs waiting in line to check luggage, obtain boarding passes, and go through security checkpoints. Not only had the flight been delayed 2 hours and overbooked, but there were a few passengers that were willing to give up their seats to be put in nearby hotels along with vouchers for future flights. Sierra had decided within seconds of the announcement that she would not be one of those amenable to taking a later flight. She had booked the trip to fly from San Diego to Chicago more than 3 months in advance, had enrolled in TSA pre-check, packed light, and printed her boarding pass, but the prior preparation did little to quell her impatience to be in the air and on her way to Chicago for a week-long stay with her extended family. She found her seat in the middle of the aircraft, stored her bag, sat, secured the seat belt, and stared out the window at the baggage handlers loading luggage onto a conveyor belt. She saw a shadow out of the corner of her eye and looked up to find a man dressed in blue navy fatigues. Their eyes met for an instant, both sharing a hint of a smile, before Sierra refocused her attention on the activity going on outside the jet. His warmth and the clean scent of his cologne swept over her when he sat and secured his belt. A flight attendant checking and closing overhead bins stopped at their row. "Captain Crawford, a gentleman in first class has offered to exchange seats with you." Noah Crawford smiled.
"Please thank him for me, but I prefer sitting here."
She gave him a warm smile. "I'll let him know." Waiting until the woman continued down the aisle, Sierra turned to stare at the Navy captain, her breath momentarily catching in her chest. To say he was gorgeous was an understatement. His deep-set brown eyes glowed like smoky quartz in a complexion that reminded her of golden-brown autumn leaves. A bold nose, strong mouth, and high cheekbones made for an arresting face that garnered a second glance. "There's a lot more legroom in first class," she said softly, when he attempted to shift into a more comfortable position to accommodate his long legs. He smiled, displaying a single dimple in his left cheek.
"That's okay. I like where I'm sitting."
Sierra lowered her eyes, chiding herself for being presumptuous, something about which she occasionally lectured her fourth-grade students whenever one tried explaining what another meant. "I'm sorry for intruding."
"There's no need to apologize, Miss..."
"Sierra Nelson," she said, introducing herself. He took her hand, which disappeared in his larger one.
"Noah Crawford."
She smiled, bringing his gaze to linger on her parted lips. "It's a pleasure to meet you, Captain Crawford, and thank you for your service to our country." Noah released her hand, angled his head, and studied the woman less than a foot away. There was something about her round face that reminded him of a doll's. He found her flawless nut-brown complexion, delicate features, and sensual mouth mesmerizing. His eyes lingered on her short curly hair before moving down to large slanting brown eyes with flecks of gold. He found them to be strangely beautiful. They reminded him of cat's eye marbles.
"You're quite..."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?